welcome to yet another episode of Music with Harry, the best and only music show on the internet. Hope you're enjoying this little mini-series. Thought it'd be hopefully informative, despite all the jokes with the opening sequence and the adverts and things like that. So here we are, again, episode 4. So today I'm going to show you how I compose actively. So I'm going to compose with you a piece now. Okay, I've got some ideas in my head, obviously, and I'm going to formulate them together and show you just a little bit how to plop things together. First off, we're going to follow the steps that I outlined in episode 1. Okay, theme and genre. Okay, then we've got instrumentation. Then we've got the chord progression, and then we've got melody, and then we've got the additional bits that just embellish the piece, and then we've got finishing it. Okay, so let's get cracking with the theme. Okay, so this is going to be a musical number in the musical I've been kind of referencing throughout this, and a bit of the background story here. We've got the character who's singing is grieving over her sister who died in a terrorist attack that happens earlier in the musical, and it's her remembering what it was like to have her and the things that they did together and that kind of thing, flashback sort of thing. So this piece is major, it's in a major key, okay? It isn't in the minor key, because it's slow and it, in places, I suppose it's supposed to be uplifting. So really, it's in the major key because I think it sounds all right in a major key. It doesn't need to be minor because if it's minor, it would become more sinister, not sad. Okay, I still want it to be reasonably uplifting because of the bringing back the happy memories from a childhood. Okay, so this piece is in A major. Okay, so first off, before we get to chord progression, we need to talk about instrumentation and the genre. Okay, so this is kind of a ballady kind of thing, reasonably slow tempo, and it might increase the tempo as we progress through the song. Kind of talking about electric pianos, a jazz guitar potentially, and maybe strings and that kind of thing. Rather than a normal piano, I'm going to use a MIDI grand. Okay, so they're slightly different. Okay, so I'll get on to the chord progression in a sec, but I'll just explain the difference between these two types of piano. Okay, so we've got that is the concert grand sound. Okay, now I've got MIDI grand. Okay, so as you can hear, it's a bit brighter and it's not necessarily a piano, it's more in between a grand piano and an electric piano. Okay, so it's not as bright as an electric piano, it's in between an electric piano and a grand piano. Okay, and sounds quite nice. So that's what I'm going to use as my main piano. Okay, then we could probably have electric piano, a smooth one rather than a tinny, aggressive one. It's more smooth. And then chords, again, that will be coming from the MIDI grand and the jazz guitar. Okay, you don't want your distorted guitar. It's not really for an acoustic guitar. I don't think that really fits. A jazz guitar is a smoother sound, and I think it will complement everything a bit better. Obviously, we'll have normal drum kit and strings. I haven't really looked at yet, but we'll get to that in a sec. Okay, so chord progression. So it's a nice simple chord progression: A, F sharp minor, E minor, E, and then we've got this in the bass to bring us back to the start of chord progression. Okay, so that's our main chord progression. Then we've got our additional chord progression, so our alternate one. Okay, so this will come in, I'm not exactly sure yet where it will be, but it'll either be pre-chorus, it'll either be bridge section, or it could be instrumental section, okay, where it's just maybe a dance break potentially, because we're in a musical, so it could be a dance break, but instrumental section potentially. Okay, so that is B minor, E, A, F sharp minor, D, and then D on an E bass, and then to an E, and then we go back into original chord progression or repeat it. Okay, so that's where we are. So that's chord progression. Now, melody. So I came up with a chord progression sort of alongside the melody with this one. Here it is. This is one of the melodies I've come up with, because kind of you need a few different melodies, and it's not going to be the vocal melody, it's going to be a motif, if you will. So on. Okay, so that is when I was playing around with A suspended fourth chords, which I mentioned before, and an A suspended second chord. Now they are very similar, but the only difference is instead of suspending the third to the fourth, so it is suspending it to the second, so we're going down. Okay, but yeah, they're essentially very similar, just one's up, one's down. Okay, so I was playing around with just the chords, and so as I mentioned in another episode, in episode 2, the melody is more, but we get the interval A, E, which is a perfect fifth, with, so that is sort of the melody, because we're carrying the A and E throughout the whole chord progression. Okay, so when we layer it up, you'll be able to hear that we're now in F sharp minor chords, but we'll keep that interval, it just goes throughout, and then up. And then on the E chords, we drop the A, so it's the interval to make it an E chord. Okay, that's the idea. That's the theory sort of behind it. So let's get on to the composition, I guess. So we start off with a little arpeggio that descends down the scale with the A suspended second chord. So it starts. Okay, and then we go into the. Vocal line in. Okay, so we start off with the electric piano sound, and then we'll come in and drift in some instruments. So we're not wanting to overcrowd this piece. It's going to be relatively simple. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roughly compose. So this is what I normally start with. I create a skeleton piece. Okay, so I don't do the entire piece like this. I get the main theme down, and then maybe the chord change as well, the progression change as well. So it's just to format my ideas, so I can listen to it, see how everything sounds, and then I will go in to my computer and properly compose it. Okay, so I'm using as I said in episode 1, my keyboard is a digital workstation, which means I can program 16-track MIDI in here. So first off, we need to think of tempo. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I do know what that is. I can tap it in. So that came out as 88. So we'll probably go to 90. Okay, I think that might be right. I might make it a bit faster, probably 95. Yeah, I think that's 95 is about right. Okay, so let's start composing, I suppose. So we've got a new song track, okay, on here. I'll go into number 1. Okay, so I've got that in, rough and ready. I'm not aiming for it to be perfect. I've messed up a few times, but it's passable. Okay, so now we're going to put in the grand piano. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so I'll do that now. Okay, I'm not sure if that sounded right or not, but I'll just have a listen. Yeah, I don't really like the piano at that point, so I'm just gonna re-record that. Okay, that was a bit better. I didn't make it as busy. I kept the chords a bit more gentle. Okay, now I think it's sort of time for bass guitar. So normal bass. Again, as I said the other episode, I'm pretty bad at writing bass parts. Okay, I just am. I don't know why, but I am. So I'm just literally gonna plonk them in, and it's not gonna be the most adventurous bass part, but it'll sound alright. Okay, so let's go again. Pop it in track 3. Okay, I probably didn't keep the bass line the same all the way through, but it gives you a nice idea. Okay, as I said, this is a very rough composition, okay, at the moment. I'm just layering things, seeing how it sounds. If I don't like it, I'll change it later. Okay, so it's just to give you an idea of sort of how I start to compose. So we've got our electric piano, we've got our normal piano, we've got our bass guitar. There's sort of 3 main components. Now I think it's time for drums, because you're going to need to keep that rhythm in. Now, I've got plenty of kits on here, there's quite a lot. There's real drums, which I think sounds alright, but I much prefer this one, Power Kit 2. I think the hi-hat's I just prefer that hi-hat to that, or a more tight one. But I think I prefer a bit softer, a bit better for this track. Okay, so I'm going to put this in number 4. Record. I've just absolutely screwed that up, so go again. Okay, that was a lot better. It's a little bit rough around the edges, obviously, but as I said, just a rough outline. Okay, so now I think it's time maybe for a bit of strings. Okay, so I can't decide what strings to go. I kind of want to go. I can't decide if it's pizzicato. maybe pizzicato. It's pizzicato with Glock. I think that might work, and then we can have proper strings later. Excuse me, I just burped. Okay, here we go. I don't need metronome on now because I've just done drums. Okay, simple. Okay, so let's have a quick listen, and I might add something. Again, this is a rough idea. Okay, so here we go. So I've got the rides. I'm not sure what that is. No, actually, no, they're right. So we're introducing the theme here. We're going to start. I feel like it might need a bit of a pad there, or proper strings. Maybe, I don't know. No, I don't like that pad. You want to find a pad that just sits underneath everything. But doesn't take too long to come in. Quite like that one. I like that one, I think. But bring it down in the mix. So as you can see here, I'm lowering down the level. So I'm gonna just bring it to 75. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. But we're gonna put that in. Let me just see where so channel 6. Hit back up. Okay, and I'll just record it in, and then hopefully we've got a roughly finished idea. Okay, so I think that's roughly finished. We'll just have a final listen, and I'll probably express my thoughts throughout. I'm not sure about Tom there. Maybe the drum seems to be a bit low in the mix. Those fills are sloppy, aren't they? I like that pad sound, it just feels like it's sort of a bit high end as well, which is nice. Okay, so that's just a rough idea, and obviously I've finished it. That's really short. So then of course you'd then go on to do another the chord change bit, but we're kind of a bit short on time, aren't we? We're kind of running into half an hour unedited at the moment. So, but anyway, so I hope that's enlightened you into the initial process into that kind of thing. I didn't put any guitar in there. I noticed I didn't do that. I've got my ukulele here that you could maybe put in. Don't know if you could hear that, but or maybe a bit higher or something like that. Kind of just low and slow, just in the background, just filling in a bit of the space, maybe. or maybe just that kind of thing. I'm not really sure if it would fit. Probably not. Just an idea. Again, ideas can be put in at the start, and then you realise when you actually come to put it together, well, that was a bit rubbish, wasn't it? Why did I think of that? So that's probably one of those ideas, putting ukulele again. So yeah, hopefully that's given you a rough idea of the initial process. Then after this, I would probably, so I've kind of got the instrument, that's kind of me thinking instrumentation and chord progression, that kind of thing, and tweaking. And then I would go into MuseScore from last episode, or if I was composing in GarageBand, I would go there and flesh out my ideas and get it into a more fully formed song. And then go back, add little things, maybe add a few more instruments to pad things out, harmonies, figure out a proper vocal line. I didn't do that now, okay, so that's sort of the rough idea. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you've enjoyed that and found it interesting. I'll see you in the next episode, whatever I do, I haven't decided yet. Bye. Let's go.